Yes, sir, man. A little bit of a hiatus. Boy with the Florida. Know what I'm saying? We was in DC first. Yo, these last 2 weeks between me
Hey man,
going from
we've been flying all over the radar,
man,
dog. Yeah, we've been moving.
DC. I went from DC to Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota. We're gonna talk about y'all in a second. Then went to Charlotte, then went back to DC. Crazy, man. First and foremost, man, as y'all know by now, we educators, we start back school. So for all the teachers, all the cafeteria workers, custodians, admin, security, IAs, long-term
Yeah,
subs,
man. Harris,
priority
subs, everybody,
subs,
man.
subs is gonna be covering, mentors,
Oh
coaches,
yeah, coaches,
every
everybody,
every
librarians,
every
man, everybody in that building.
librarians,
To the
everybody in those
IT
buildings,
teams, man, everybody that has something to do with
IT,
education. I
anybody,
hope you were
dog.
all disappointed I was when we got that welcome back email this morning. I know for us here in 757 where we live, we got ours this morning. I knew it was coming and I
Yeah.
just shook my head. Some people,
Mm.
some states are already back to work, like Florida, Georgia. I know they're already back to school. I know New York doesn't go back till after Labor Day, like up north, but your time is coming, man. We are here.
Yeah, we gotta go back tomorrow, man. But shout out to
We had a
everybody
good
that's in
run.
education, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
everybody, man. Pray y'all have a great year.
It's
But
for a
this dent,
safe, healthy, productive school year.
yeah, yeah, man. So this Dent Shak is here. And
Yep.
yes, we still watch wrestling. This is episode 89 of Yes, We Still Watch Wrestling,
And
man.
shout out to our brother Willie, who
Yeah,
was
shout out to
supposed to
Willie,
be back,
man.
but
I already knew.
conversations we had this week. Put it like this, people: if you believe in a higher power, higher being, whoever you choose to serve, when you ask for a blessing and you get that blessing, there's gonna be new responsibilities. There's gonna be a lot on your plate, but you can't ask to eat, then be upset when the harvest gets blessed to you. So
Yeah,
the boy,
yeah. Shout
the
out
boy
to him,
really
man.
dealing with a lot right now with his new job, but
Yeah, shout out
heavy
to
is the
him,
head, and
man.
we saw our brother holding it down. But he will be back soon. Yeah, he will be back soon. He misses
Yeah,
y'all. He told me to tell y'all that.
he'll be back soon, man. But let's get into it, man, because we got a lot to talk about because we've been
Yes,
gone for a
sir.
couple
First and
weeks.
foremost to you, brother. How was Minnesota, man?
Yo, so shout out to Minnie. Minnesota was a good time, man. Definitely, just about the city in general before we get into SummerSlam. I will say this. Do believe there are some places where you got to go outside of downtown. It's not like here in Virginia where you can go to a lot of restaurants in the downtown areas and stuff like that. DC is like that. Charlotte is like that. It's a lot of cities is like that. Minnesota is not one of those cities. We walk from our hotel was on the same street as the convention center. So for those of you that live in Minnesota, you know what I'm talking about. Well, live in Minneapolis specifically, you know what I'm talking about. The US Bank Stadium is maybe like a 2-mile walk. So for those of you live in Norfolk, it would be like walking from Waterside to like Baxter's, or the Greyhound bus station or whatever, right? So from that walk, we maybe saw like 2 restaurants. Like, you know what I'm saying? And nobody could give us
In the downtown area.
yes, and nobody could give us good eats. Like it was all like fast food stuff, like not restaurants. There was a restaurant we went to, I think it was Tom's Watch Bar. Sorry for those of y'all that may love it. My food was very mid. So the food scene in Minnesota, unless you got to go outside of downtown, go to the hood or whatever, I ain't really rock with that. But Mall of America was dope. The stadium was dope. It's one of those stadiums that's kind of similar to Vegas. How how Vegas got the translucent roof. They got
Yeah.
half of that. So like the only part about SummerSlam was we were sitting on the side where the sun was coming down. So like once the sun gets to a certain point, that's like beaming right on you, dog. So
Demon. Yeah.
yeah, but Minnesota was cool, man. SummerSlam. Let me say this about SummerSlam in person. As the first couple things I want to highlight in person because I got in trouble not in trouble, but a couple of people barked at me on threads, tried to say I was putting out wrong information and stuff like that. There's a lot of things, as y'all know with live events, there's a lot of things that kind of explain certain situations or whatever. So I will say this. I personally think the crowd for SummerSlam was kind of mid. I'm gonna be honest, but here's why I give them a pass. The music, yo, maybe it's because I was on the floor, but the music was loud. Like it's the loudest I've ever been in any arena, any stadium for a WWE event. It was loud. So like some of the stuff I do think, and to this point, Kevin Owens did the post conference. Was at the post conference, and he talked about how he couldn't really hear the crowd reaction, but he knew by body movement. That's how loud the music was. So if you felt like the crowd was mid, that might have been a reason why the music might have been overpowering it. It was clearly not sold out. They had black top on certain sections or whatever, so it's clearly not sold out. But yo, night one was cool. You know what I'm saying? I think Liv versus Io was the second best match of the weekend. I think Cody and Punk was the third best match of the weekend. But night two in person cooked. First and foremost, to give you a pulse of what was going on in the arena, when they announced the fourth person, everybody thought it was Drew. That's why the crowd went crazy like that. So just to give y'all insight, if y'all want to know, it wasn't just the fact that it was KO, right? With KO, of course, sent it to a whole nother level. The crowd was chanting Drew. Everybody thought it was Drew. Everybody was like, Drew, Drew. Whole sections, you could hear the crowd. Everybody thought it was Drew. And then when KO music dropped, crazy. So that's probably the loudest pop I've heard next to when the Hardy Boys returned to WrestleMania 33. Roman and Seth is the type of match I've been waiting to see in person for a very long time. I've never seen a 5-star match in person unless you consider the ladder match at NXT TakeOver Orlando between the Revival, DIY, and AOP. Unless you consider that a classic, because we was there for that. Yeah, it's a great match, but I don't consider it a classic. Definitely not five. I could see 4.5, but not 5 stars. So that match, man, to see the symbolism and everything, man, was dope. So SummerSlam was a good time, man. Shout out the people in the city was very cool. So shout out to y'all, man. So yeah, I thought SummerSlam was good, but we hadn't talked about it. So what did you think about SummerSlam? Real quick.
I enjoyed SummerSlam. Like I caught everything next day. Because like I said, Saturday I was in Florida because my little sister got married. You know, shout out to Crystal, my sister, Chris, my brother. So I turned on because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to watch it. So I turned all my notifications off. I told boys in the chat, no spoilers, please. Please, no spoilers. And then Sunday, when I got home, I watched everything. So I watched from Saturday and all the way through till Sunday. But great matches, great storytelling. Some of the things, of course, that Dom match I could have done without. Dom, boy,
let me say this. Let me say this real quick. Sorry to cut you off. I do want to say this real quick. I was wrong on multiple levels about Danhausen. I've been saying for weeks that I was wrong about like him appearance, but I always been saying like, yo, if you don't understand like the reason why he's on these cars is because the kids love him. Wrong again. It's not just the kids, bro. These grown men and adults. I witnessed that firsthand in Minnesota, bro. There was more adults in Danhausen gear. Dog, there was a dude who had a service dog, and him and the service dog was dressed as Danhausen. Like, I'm talking about when we went into the superstore, when we went to the event, walking around in the hotel, you was guaranteed to see either a OTC shirt or Roman Reigns shirt or a Danhausen shirt every time. These men like walking in, like, yo, there were dudes taking pictures of other dudes dressed as Danhausen, bro. Like he has taken over. So for those of you, it sucks that, and I'm gonna cut this off because you didn't finish, but it sucks that Dominic Mysterio. It sucks that Dominic Mysterio is put in this position after what you just said. It does suck, but somebody has to be in that position because he is so over. He is so over, yo. And I didn't realize how over he was until going to SummerSlam. Even at Monday Night Raw in Norfolk, which we're gonna talk about in a second too, after we get done with SummerSlam. But even at Raw in Norfolk, yo, like he is over. he had
He is by far.
unfortunately,
Yeah, he is.
yeah, they just and it's a good problem to have. They do have to figure out how to keep him relevant with different rivalries and stuff like that. But he has to be seen every week. He just has to. He's that over. So yeah, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
Like, you all good. Of course, like Danhausen is over, but I just want more for Dirty Dom. Last year, he was the best heel in wrestling, I would say.
In wrestling, yeah.
In wrestling. Not just WWE, he was the best heel in wrestling. To being in I thought that was my door, dog. I'm looking like that's how I look. Like,
Nah, you know who it is. Come in, man.
yeah, run-in time. What up, you? Yeah.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi, Uncle Shaq.
Hi, Uncle Shaq.
Yeah.
How is it?
Hendrix, while we on camera, who is your favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler is blue.
No, that's your favorite color. Who's your
Yeah,
favorite
it's
wrestler?
blue. You
My
heard the
favorite
game?
wrestler is mommy and daddy.
You seen
Oba.
Yeah, say Oba. Oh, you acting shy. Get out of here, chump. Love you, kid. You good? I don't know what you're saying, bro. You knocked the microphone out.
Nah, he muted the joint.
Oh, yeah, I ain't hear nothing he was saying.
Hey,
we gonna
Hendrix,
talk
go
about
upstairs,
him.
man.
We gonna talk about him saying mommy and daddy his favorite
Hey,
wrestlers.
close,
What he done seen?
He ain't seen
What he
nothing.
done, what he
Close the
done
door,
walked
go
in
upstairs,
on?
man.
Yeah.
Love you.
He said,
Nothing.
mommy and daddy, my favorite wrestlers. What he done walked in on, man? Close your goddamn doors at night, man.
Nothing, man. He ain't walked in on nothing. But nah, man. Nah, my bad. Was you done?
Yeah. And I agree with you. Roman versus Seth was 5 stars. There's nothing about that match I did not like.
Yeah.
From the storytelling to the psychology to the callbacks to the action. And like Seth said, this is where you're gonna call the bloodline in now. This is where you're gonna call your family. And Roman was like, nah, nope, me and you. Let's end it. Yeah, let's run it. I love that.
Let's run.
I love that. Nothing bad I can say about that match at all.
Yeah,
nothing bad I can say about the Cody versus CM Punk match. And again, CM Punk hasn't had a bad match yet. Like when the lights are bright, he puts on. Yeah,
he puts on.
Lights bright.
Now I will say this though: if you rank his best matches, I do, and it's not to say that it was a bad match, but I do think this was his worst match of his most memorable. I don't think it was better than Punk and Gunther. I don't think it was better than Punk and this may the only match that may have been below it is Drew and Punk at SummerSlam in Cleveland. But other than that, I think it was be like bottom tier as far as his like PLE matches. But it was still a great match. Like you said, he been putting on. He hasn't missed, man. So
with this next feud, I'm conflicted.
Shout out, we're gonna get into that. Shout out to Chelsea for winning. It really, it wasn't a bad match all weekend. And matter of fact, here's one last point I want to make about SummerSlam. One thing I did notice is that afterwards, I saw a graphic of the time limits each match had. Mm-hmm. In person, EO and Liv did not feel like only 13 minutes. I'm gonna be like, it did not. And I asked somebody, the guy that was sitting next to me, the next night when we went back, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, did that EO and Liv match feel like it was only 13 minutes? And he was like, nah, I felt like a 20-minute match. And when I rewatched it, I realized why. They was 100 miles per hour from start to finish. Like, it was fast paced. So they gave us so much in a short period of time that it felt like a longer match. But there really wasn't a bad match the entire weekend. Now, I will say this. I went to the bathroom on 2 matches. Night 1, I went to the bathroom for the 6-women tag. Night 2, I went to the bathroom for Danhausen and Dirty Dom. So I didn't see those matches, and I have no desire to watch them. So, but outside of that, I didn't see a bad match all weekend. All right, so yeah, SummerSlam, man, was dope. Shout out to WWE for not only doing that, but also giving us new stuff to go into. Is a post SummerSlam felt like a post Mania. Before we get into that, though, we're gonna take a break from WWE talk. There was a possible setup last night that this is your time. I'm gonna give you the ISO. There was a possible setup last night into something we've been anticipating. This is your ISO. I want you to give us your theory in regards to, break down what the setup was and give us your theory in regards to what's about to happen at All In for AEW.
Well, the setup probably came to fruition last night with the trio championship being on the line. With Swerve needs a partner. Swerve is going to need a partner for the AEW Trio Championship match. There are 3 teams already involved. You know, it's the Dogs and it's the it's the name of the other team escapes me at the moment right
with
now.
Ricochet,
Forgive
I
me for that.
forgot.
Yeah,
You talking about the team with Ricochet
it's
in
Adam
there? I
Page.
forgot.
You know, the current champs is Hangman, Brody King, and Bandito. So please forgive me for the other name of the team right now with Ricochet and all them. I think they might be called the Conglomerate. If I'm mistaken though, but it escapes me at the moment. But I feel that's it. They set it up, and it's Swerve. You have no friends here. Nobody really likes you, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel this would be the perfect time or the perfect way to bring them in. It'll be a hell of a disservice. It could be the Hurt Syndicate.
The Demand. That's their name, the Demand.
The Demand, yeah, the Demand, not the Conglomerate. Yeah, the Demand. It could be the Hurt Syndicate, but I believe people will be highly disappointed. They're dope, but I believe people would be highly disappointed if it was them. But I do feel, remember I said that I don't think they need to come back and just get right into the title picture between, between Cage and Colt and the New Day, actually the New Day and the Young Bucks. So this is the perfect way to bring them in and not just catapult them right to the title scene. So I feel this is it. Yeah, I think it's a good way to. It's a good way to introduce them to get them into AEW, where they're not automatically going for the tag team titles.
Yeah,
So
I will say this though, for the whole purpose of why Bobby Lashley and them went to AEW, I am ready to see like Bobby Lashley go after the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
That's
it's
a fact.
time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's time to cap. So I wouldn't mind seeing them come out, but I do agree this would be the perfect way to set up the New Day's debut. Of course, if they debut, they're gonna win that match, so they're gonna be the trios champion with Swerve. We may see a heel turn for Swerve later on down the line.
Are they going to be heels? Because with Ricochet in the match, I don't feel that they need to be heels. Because
They're gonna be
Ricochet is a big enough heel,
yeah, the Demand is heel, so I see them being more so tweeners.
right?
So
Or they could just go full blown and give them the proper heel run that WWE didn't give them.
that's true too. But I think Swerve is the perfect tweener, so we're gonna see, man.
For Stephen Dent, the San Francisco 49ers have just ran onto the field.
Okay,
Go ahead.
bet. I appreciate that. You watching it on NFL Network?
It's on the network, yeah.
Okay, all right. Appreciate that. And for those football is officially back, but we'll talk about that.
Really quick, guys, this episode is sponsored by R&J Fantasy Football. Please go check them out. They are on YouTube. They are on Instagram. They are on X. Come get your daily dose of fantasy football insights. You know, they do lineup help. They go live every Wednesday at 9:00. Check them out. I am the unofficial third man of the show. I'm over there. We were there.
We were there all about it.
Yeah, that didn't show up for our first mock draft of the season. We did a mock draft last night. So they are very dope, down to earth brothers who know exactly what they're talking about when it comes to this football and fantasy game. So check them out. And fellas, like I said last night, we're going to put a pin in this wrestling. Super Bowl Sunday this year is on Valentine's Day. Start telling your ladies now what to expect.
Well, first and foremost, if you you ain't got enough skin in the game if you celebrating on Valentine's Day.
But yeah, you sound like a vet, like RJ and Jasper, right?
Yeah,
you sound like a vet,
you don't
right?
celebrate on Valentine's Day. You go out the day before.
I'm talking to the rookies in the game, and some of them don't know how to play it. Some of them ain't suited up for real.
That I'm giving you game. You give them the gift.
You ain't talking to me, baby.
I said I'm giving. You say you talking to the rookies. I'm saying I'm giving them the game. You don't take them out. You take them out the day before. You give them the actual gift that you want to give them on Valentine's Day. But as far as spending time together, you take them out the day before.
Some of them gonna be flustered because the lights is bright and she running that 2-man zone. They don't know that cover 2-man. They don't know what to do.
Look, Super Bowl don't start till 6:00.
That's what I said. You got all day. You got brunch.
You got all day.
Whatever you want to do.
Do it all.
Yeah. So, but yes. So, shout out to RJ Fantasy Football. Please check them out on all platforms.
Dope. So we had a debut last night. We
We
had a
did.
debut. Shout
We
out to
did.
the guy Zilla, man. Shout out to Zilla 52, man. Shout out to WWE for letting him keep his name. It came out today. They are letting him keep his name. He got a shirt and everything. You know how they would change your name, and
Yeah, they want to
WWE
own
has
everything.
they
Yeah.
have changed more names than the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? So they have officially let him keep his name. Shout out to Zilla, man. And we gonna carry this over into what's going on with the bloodline right now.
And talking about
So
shout out to all the wrestlers at WWE keeping canon. All of them to hit Twitter on like, yo, another one? Like, how many Samoans are there? Just like, and all of
as
them was
many.
keeping the kayfabe, just saying, yo, where the hell is the Samoan factory at? Like, I love that they all played into it. Like, yo, another one?
Yep.
They said another fight too. Like, how many of them are there?
White people
Like,
been
I
doing it
love
for
that. Like, that's
years.
good fun.
We not gonna hate on Samoans because white people been doing it for years. We not gonna hate on the
No.
Samoans, man.
We're not hating. I enjoy them keeping
No.
canon.
I'm just saying in general. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you hating. I'm just saying in general, like for all the fans that be on all these, yes, because y'all been doing it. Y'all been doing it for years, man. But I hope Zilla gets a chance to cook in NXT like Solo did. Solo didn't really go after the NXT title, but he did have the North American Championship right before he bounced.
American title for a little bit.
Yeah, he got a chance to develop in NXT and stuff like that. So I hope Zilla has a similar run. I don't think he necessarily needs the NXT title right now. I would like to see Grayson Waller be NXT champ for a little
He's
bit.
cooking right now with his new gimmick. Yeah.
I've always said, yo, Grayson
You have
Waller.
been a Grayson Waller fan. I give you that. You were one of the ones that could give Grayson Waller an opportunity.
Yes, I've been saying for years, bro. Like Grayson Waller has everything. He can talk, he can wrestle, he's athletic, he has the pause, he has the look. There's nothing that Grayson Waller doesn't have. That's why I was always confused with them. Like Grayson Waller is low key what they want Austin Theory to be, or they wanted him to be. The annoying heel, Grayson Waller does that to a T. Like, you know what I mean? So I would like to see him cooking in it for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe Zilla chase him and Mike, was it Cruz Santana now?
Cruz Santana, yeah.
Cruz Santana, yeah. Sorry about that, Mike. But Cruz Santana, they both can chase the NXT title for a little bit, create different rivalries or whatever. But shout out to Zilla for getting that opportunity, man, because some didn't think it would happen. But I think he's dope. Before I go into what I want to say about Solo, what you think about Zilla debuting, bro?
It was completely unexpected. Like, I love unexpected debuts. Had no clue it was even happening. And it was just happenstance. I was watching NXT at that time because that's normally date night. But, we were just getting back from our trip and whatnot. Yeah. So we kind of put date night on hold for this week because everybody was tired and whatnot from traveling. And I was just happened to watch NXT. I was like, oh, damn, this should be a good match. Let me see who's going to be the number one contender. Then out of nowhere from the crowd, here comes Zilla. So I love completely unexpected debuts. That's what wrestling used to be before, social media and the internet. You didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know who was going to pop up. I still enjoy that. It's cool to have the spoiler every once in a while, but it's just good to have that surprise. Like, oh, that's what we grew up with. We didn't know who was going to come through the crowd or who was going to interfere in the match. So I love it.
Yeah, it was dope. So here's what I want to say about, because this transition to, because Zilla is going to join the Bloodline eventually. So I'm going to give y'all the blueprint again to what's about to happen, because y'all haven't been listening. I told y'all before WrestleMania that this next chapter of Roman Reigns is going to be him winning the title. He's going to have a bunch of matches in which nobody interferes. It's going to be about uniting the bloodline, but viewing them as equals. But some of them got to get down and lay down, like Jacob Fatu and Solo. That's exactly what's happened. I need to find the clip, because everything I've said has come into fruition, right? I told y'all that Solo was about to join the Bloodline. Now, here's where I'm going to get on all of y'all. I've been commenting on different videos. I'm going to send you one video in which they tried to attack me and the creator. Shout out to Wheezy. She know who she is. She do a good thing. Shout out to her. She came to my defense. I said it on Santi's post. All of y'all, it's only two people. Matter of fact, I'm going to say her IG name exactly. It's only two people who I'm giving credit to as far as creators for being on the Solo bandwagon. What is her? I'm going to find her name real quick. I know, yeah, it's Weezy Blonde. So shout out to Weezy and Malcolm Muscle. Those two have been Solo fans from the beginning. I've been a fan of Solo for a very long time, but I remember being in Cleveland, and I wish Willie was up here, and everybody was complaining about Solo being in the main event. I remember 2 months ago, Solo appeared in the crowd at Clash when Jacob lost. What was all the chatter online? Oh God, we don't want to see Solo go against Roman Reigns ever again, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden Solo cracked a couple jokes. Now everybody loves Solo. I ain't letting y'all get. This is my problem with wrestling fans, man. I ain't letting y'all get away with it. And the comment I said to one dude who was reasonable, he was like, you know what, that's a fair point. And my point to him was, wrestling fans don't give wrestlers a chance until it's cool to give them a chance. To everybody else is rooting for it, because everybody was saying Solo wasn't this funny. Well, if you go back and watch his Bloodline 2 run and MFT run, Solo showed flashes of being funny. He cracked jokes he didn't crack them every week, but he definitely was cracking jokes. He threw the punchline at Jacob when they was about to break up and said that Jacob Fatu was all gas, no brains. Like, he had been doing that stuff. He been cracking jokes on his brother. He's been doing that. Y'all just was never willing to give him a chance until it became cool. But before I pass you the rock, one thing I do want to say about this Bloodline story is that I know a lot of you, even though y'all are late to the party with Solo, and I'm not going to let y'all get away with being bandwagon and all of a sudden wanting to see him be great when y'all didn't want to see him to be great for years. It's good to see people want Solo to get his chance.
Right.
But if you take an honest inventory of what's going on, it is a more compelling story for Solo having to be forced to rejoin the Bloodline than for him to be on his own right now. Because the reason why is because they're not going to give him the push that he needs on his own, right? And then eventually you're going to have to tie the Bloodline back into it, because the Bloodline is in almost every title picture. So it is more compelling story for him to rejoin the Bloodline and see what happens with a united Bloodline, right? It is more important, like more of a story there than just let him be running around on his own. Because if let's say y'all got y'all wish and Solo won Monday night, he goes back to SmackDown, right? Which we about to talk about here in a second. The SmackDown main event picture looks crazy. Where's the room for Solo?
I don't see it.
Exactly. So how do you keep him relevant? By keeping them on TV every week with the Bloodline, and just let them be a united front. And they've already created, so like, a lot of you complained about Jacob's role in the Bloodline. Look what they're doing. They cooking right now. The story that, like, the interaction between him and Jay has been dope. He bodied Royce Keys last week. So yeah, that's what this whole, and so Zilla is gonna eventually join the Bloodline. But we're going to have to give that time. That's going to be at least a year before that happens, but it's going to eventually happen. So what's your thoughts on what's going on with Solo? You cool with him being back in the Bloodline? Or, well, I mean, what is officially going to happen Monday, but are you cool with it?
I'm one of the people who have been adamant about being kind of sick of the Bloodline. This version, I just don't want it to be the same thing, the same shtick, to where now Roman goes back into dictator mode and people are conflicted. So far, it hasn't happened, but something's going to happen where somebody breaks and we're going to get a split bloodline again. How we get there, I'm not sure yet, because it's going to be too obvious.
Happen.
It's going to be too obvious if it's going to be Jacob or Solo. Too obvious if it's one of them.
If you notice, here's why I don't think it's going to happen, bro. I really don't. If you notice the one thing, and this is why I've said everything I've said, you notice the one thing about this whole story is they've done the complete opposite of what people think.
Well, people think. I agree.
Every match, what we've been waiting for, somebody to interfere with Roman. Hasn't happened. Every week, we waiting for somebody to beef with. They don't. So this is what they're showing with this story. They don't always agree with Roman's decisions, but they go with it because of the amount of respect that Roman shows them. And this is what makes it different. Last time when Roman was a tribal chief, he wasn't really showing them the respect. And that's why it eventually broke. But Roman is showing them respect enough and viewing them as equals, was where sometimes he's even allowing them to call certain plays like Jay did Monday night. So I think what the end result is going to be is them being a united family. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody's going to break out, but with them being a united family, being viewed as equals, they're all going to be able to do their own thing. It's going to be like kind of how like the NWO was. You know how like when the NWO was there week to week, you had one person going after this, one person going after that, but they all was relevant in their own way. It's like watching a movie and you have all these different characters, and you get this story, this character development. Whereas with Walking Dead, you're not just invested in Rick, now you invested in Glenn, so now you invested in Maggie and stuff like that. I think the same thing is gonna happen with the Blood. So, but we gonna see.
The only issue like I have with that, right? That's cool and all, but it's obvious that they're doing this. That means the bloodline, of course, will be in war games again, right?
Yeah, they already are.
Right. Okay,
Roman
right.
already on
So
the poster.
right. So they're
Mhm.
in war games again, right?
Mhm.
If Roman is in war games, let's say if he's in war games, right?
Mhm.
Who on the other side would it have to make it be believable that the other side even has a chance? Because it can't be like LA Knight and Royce Keys. Can't be them because you know they have no chance. Like you know they're not going to win.
So you wanna know how I would do it, or you want me to answer how I think they're gonna do it?
How they because you know they don't listen to the fans. How you think they gonna do it? We come up with better stuff than they do. So how you think they gonna do it?
I gotta wait to see how Money in the Bank play out.
That's fair.
I gotta wait to see how Money in the Bank play out. Cause right now, like the only person that I don't think the LA Knight thing is gonna last past Money in the Bank. I think the LA Knight match is gonna. I think the which we about to talk about next. I think the Knight match is gonna happen before we get the winner of the AAA tournament to face Roman at Raw in Mexico City. So
Mhm.
I don't think that rivalry is carrying over to Survivor. So it might. I just don't know. I don't think LA Knight Roman Reigns, I don't think that should be a rivalry. I think that should be a one-off. I think that should be a one-off of Roman proves his point that he can beat him without, you know what I'm saying, helping, and they move on. So it's tough to say how I think they would do it right now. I do think they're gonna make it a star-studded event. They have to in order to sell those tickets, right? So it's gonna be star-studded. How I would do it personally, I would go back to not the old format, but I would go back to the brand thing. I will go back to Raw versus SmackDown, and maybe even Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown, but I don't think the male roster on NXT is stacked enough and appealing enough outside of Zilla where people will want to see that. I think at the time that they did it, people wanted to. So long story short, I would go back to Raw versus SmackDown, but let the bloodline represent Raw. And then you put together the best five from SmackDown, but have it be five people that's already beefing with each other in the main event title scene to see if they can get along. So like have it be KO, have it be Drew, have it be Cody, have it be CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? Put you know what I mean? Like just your best five from SmackDown and go from there. That's how I
Okay.
would do it. You
All
know what I'm
right. I
saying?
can rock
But
with that. Okay.
and I do see them doing it may not be a brand split, but I do see like it may not be brand versus brand, but I do see them putting like the best five against the bloodline or whatnot. So yeah, we'll see, man. Real quick, AAA tournament. Just one quick takeaway from this real quick that I have. Penta versus Ray Phoenix is about to cook. That match about to be crazy.
If they let them,
I believe they will. And I believe that match is gonna cook. Penta versus Laredo Kid was the best match on the night
yes, it
Monday. Shout out
was.
to them.
Yeah.
That match was fire. That was a good match to see in person too. And real quick, it's time to put respect on Norfolk's crowd's name. It's time to put respect on Norfolk's name. Norfolk consistently, the Norfolk crowd was louder than the SummerSlam crowd. And once again, I get a SummerSlam crowd a pass because the music was so loud. It might have drowned everybody out. But to prove my point for anybody who think I'm just being a homer, go back and watch when Oba came out. Go back on Raw and watch when Oba came out. The whole crowd went nuts. Did Jey Uso yeet? Crazy off air. Crazy. When he got into the ring and he do his thing and he crazy off air. But yeah, they about to cook. So we gonna see what's up with that. All right, I got a question for you, Broker. We about to be done.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give you a couple things that happened post SummerSlam. KO won and he had a promo with CM Punk.
Amazing.
Braun and Oba won't smoke with each other. Solo rejoined. We got to rejoin the bloodline. Jacob Fatu took out Royce Keys. Mello attacked Baron Corbin. They got a match this week. Becky and Stephanie Vakura have a face-off, and they both after EO. And then we got like 6 people in the main event scene for SmackDown. What is the biggest thing you're looking forward to seeing unveil in regards to all these stories post SummerSlam?
KO versus CM Punk.
Talk
That's
about it.
easy for me. Well,
Talk about it.
those are two of my those 2 of my favorite wrestlers right there.
So,
CM Punk and
real
KO.
quick, can you do the average fan a favor? So for a fan like myself who didn't watch a lot of Ring of Honor and stuff like that,
Mhm.
can you give a breakdown real quick in regards to what actually happened between them in Ring of Honor? Like where this beef originated?
Okay, so the beef started with KO, Kevin Steen, and CM Punk back from the Ring of Honor days. CM Punk has always also been kind of pompous, kind of like I'm he really walked around like he was the greatest ever, even in Ring of Honor. And he really couldn't stand KO because KO wasn't built like a wrestler and he wrestled in a t-shirt. And I believe it was CM Punk made a comment talking about if you're gonna be a wrestler, how about you look like a wrestler or something like that. And then KO cut the sleeves off of his shirt and was gonna like, do I look like a wrestler now? Something like being a jerk, being an asshole, like, do I look like a wrestler now? Something of the sort. And CM Punk really believes that they all should thank him because he was one of the first from Ring of Honor to go to WWE when they had the ECW brand. So he believes that he really did kick the door down for all of them. Pardon, and they should all be thanking him, things like that. And KO doesn't feel that way. KO feels that he's always been the best. KO feels that he's always been good. He's always been better. Because even if you go back to his feud with Cena when he debuted during the U.S. Open Challenge, Cena said a line like when John Cena was like, "Well, keep working, kid," and KO said, "No, you don't get to call me kid because I've been doing this longer than you." So so there goes this. I know there really might be some sort of static or resentment there, but as we all know, that leads to the best stuff when it comes to people that can talk. When it comes to the promos, people that can actually talk, you just let them go in there and talk. That leads to the best stuff right there. So I'm looking forward to it. If KO and CM Punk are 2 of my favorite wrestlers. So this really got money written all over it. And as always, KO was right. As always, KO was right.
When CM Punk retires, he might have the most compelling and interesting documentary of all time. Cause reason why I say that is because not only just because of his story, I personally think, all right, so mind you, I've been a CM Punk fan since like ECW. I'm not as big of a fan as I used to be, but in his early stages, I was a big CM Punk fan. I'm not to say I'm not a fan right now. I love his work. I think he's on the best run of his entire career right now. Some people say that, like, his AEW run is included in that. I have no problem with that. But I just think, like, he's done if you think about the legends in wrestling, the true legends that's put on great matches, most of them have had their best matches in a later point of their careers.
Mhm.
And CM Punk is right in that category. But
Mhm.
it's gonna be so compelling because the one common theme with all of these rivalries he's had outside of Gunther is you really debating whether they really like this man or not. Like you really
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
cause
Is there
some of
real
these
heat between them? Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
real heat and you sitting there trying to figure out, you're like, yo, do they really like each other? Like, or do they really not like each other? Or have they worked stuff out and they just like selling it? I do like the fact that they lean into it. Like you always say,
Yeah,
don't
of
don't
course.
play us
Right.
like we stupid. You know what I'm saying? I do like the fact that they've leaned into it. But with Drew, with Punk, I mean not with Drew, Punk, with Drew, with Seth, with Roman, and now with KO, and even with Sammy, because they got history too. I don't know if y'all ever peeped, but like at War Games, when they teamed together in War Games against Bloodline 2, like Sammy didn't even give CM Punk the shoulder bump. You know what I'm saying? So in the beginning of the entrance or whatnot. So there's like real smoke with all these people. And it's like, yo, like, how many of these people like really still don't like CM Punk? You know what I'm saying? Cause like it's to the point where even in interviews, they'll say, I don't really rock with this man. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna be compelling to see like what that actually is. Like, you know how at one point we didn't think Cody and Seth really liked each other, and then come find out 2 years later, like they like the best of friends. Maybe Punk and Seth worked it out. We don't know. but it's gonna be so compelling to find those stories out. I think for me personally, I'm gonna say the SmackDown main event scene because SmackDown immediately, and Santi pointed this out. KO's return took SmackDown to the level it should be at. Like, it made it so interesting on so many levels. The story with him and KO, I mean, not him and KO, him and Sammy, right? What's Sammy's role gonna be in all of this? Sammy is not leaving the main event scene no time soon. Now you got him versus Punk about to happen. It looks like that's gonna happen in Toronto next Friday. That match is gonna be crazy. Hopefully they give us that match commercial free.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully, yeah, Drew's gonna return soon, and Drew's gonna be. Now they did say that they're gonna be moving some SmackDown superstars to Raw to balance out the roster because there's too many. There's more superstars on SmackDown than there is on Raw. We've already seen that with LA Knight and Solo and Royce Keys. I think Royce Keys is permanently gonna be on Raw now. But that main event scene, because SmackDown, I've been looking for SmackDown to be a great show. I'm looking forward to see what they do with that main event scene. As excited as I am for Braun versus Oba, we all know who's gonna win this.
Oba has to win. Like, Oba has to win.
He has to win. But I will say this though. The first match got to end in a no DQ. I mean, in a
some kind of
DQ.
no contest, no DQ.
It got to
no
be a
contest,
DQ.
double count out.
And
Got to be
Braun,
something like that. Double count out, double disqualification. Yeah.
because you can't flat out bury Braun.
No, I
So
agree.
at least make him
get squashed like that. I agree.
At least let him use a weapon, let him take out Oba, let him walk out, and then the next match let Oba win. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we got some interesting stuff coming up, man. I'm glad to see this, man. It's gonna be exciting 2 weeks in wrestling. We're gonna take a dive into All In next week for sure.
Can't wait.
But yeah, that KO and Punk segment, it felt real. So if it's not, shout out to them. But it was one of those, man, where it felt real. Like,
Yeah, but they always say, I don't have to like you to make money with you. Like, I don't have to like you to make money with you. Yeah, we're professionals. I don't have to like you to make money with you. Yeah.
Right. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's with any job. Like, you know what I'm saying, if you're a professional, you know what I'm saying, you put the job first, and sometimes you got to work with people you don't like, you know what I'm saying? You make the best of it. And at the end of the day, like, I think it's even more incentive that we become millionaires off of this match, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
Right,
I ain't got to like you to make millions with you, you know what I'm saying? If I can feed my family with you, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? We'll work it out, you know what I mean?
I think as long as the respect is there, we are all right.
Yeah.
They ain't not like each other. They can respect each other for what they can do in the ring.
Exactly. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's you got anything for us, bro? We out of here.
We out of here, man. It's time to go to sleep, dog.
Hey, it's gonna be more stuff we're gonna talk about next week. We ain't want to make this podcast too long, but we're gonna get into
to the building in the morning, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the women's title scene next week.
We're gonna get into the Bailey keep teasing going to AEW.
Bailey is gone, man.
No,
they saying
she keeps teasing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying WWE officials is upset with her latest post. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Nothing, baby. Yeah.
She gone. We can get in the title scene. I hope JC Jane wins tomorrow night. Nothing against top 5. Nothing against Tiffy. I rock with Tiffy, but I think they need to capitalize on JC Jane. We're going to get into a lot of stuff, man. Rhea Ripley was seen in a boot and crutches, so we got to figure out what they about to do with her. Right? Chelsea is hurt, broke her orbital bone. But Chelsea wrestled Friday night, so she good.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in that tag match. A lot of people hot, though, because she lost. I mean, she took the pin. They didn't have Tiffy take the pin. She took the pin. A lot of people was very upset with that. A lot of people was upset with Jade because they feel like Jade botched a few times. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into all of that next week, man. So, but now I appreciate y'all locking in with us, man. This episode's been episode 88. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the content. We on YouTube, we on Facebook, we on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, wherever you need our services. Pause, we there. I hope y'all have a great week. I paused it immediately before you even had a chance to react. That was a smooth transition. But y'all have a great weekend. To my educators again, and every city in the 757 except Chesapeake, we back. Hey, look, summer was great, but it's time to do what we do, man.
It's time to get back to the trenches, baby.
It's time to do what we do, man. This is what we do. This is us walking into the tunnel for football, basketball, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do, man. We make an impact. So It's time to do that, man. So much love to y'all, to everybody else, man. Y'all have an amazing weekend. We back next week with more wrestling stuff to talk about. So holla at us, man. Much love to y'all.
Much love. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed.